House Intelligence Committee members are arguing over President Trump's claim that former President Obama ordered surveillance of Trump Tower before the election. Committee Chairman Devin Nunes is accused by the ranking Democrat of trying to divert attention from the president's claim that he was wiretapped by his predecessor. Congressman Adam Schiff says Nunes is trying to confuse the issue.
That effort to defend the indefensible has led us down this terrible rabbit hole and threatens the integrity of the only investigation that's authorized in the House.
President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, has volunteered to be interviewed by lawmakers investigating what intelligence agencies say was Russian interference in the election.
For more on the investigation, we're joined by Matthew Rosenberg. He reports on intelligence and national security for the New York Times. Matthew, good morning.
How are you?
So Paul Manafort, Carter Page, Roger Stone, all Trump advisors have volunteered to testify. The Times reports that all three are also under investigation. What does that volunteer testimony tell you?
I mean, I think for Manafort especially, he says he didn't do anything wrong. This is getting out ahead of it, trying to say, look, I'll come in, kind of get his storyline going. But it doesn't take us away from this giant bombshell that was dropped this week that, look, the White House is under an espionage investigation right now, which is just astounding. And then you've got the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee going out and talking about these obscure technical details of her names being masked or unmasked in intelligence reports. And he's running off to the White House to report to them when they're under investigation. It all looks really bad.
So, as you said, the FBI director confirmed that the Trump campaign is under investigation for possibly colluding with Russia for the elections. But now, 8 days later since that announcement, they're headed to the Hill. Why?
You know, I do think that they're just trying to get out ahead of it. And these guys, you know, their distance from the Trump campaign is kind of growing with every day. Manafort was pushed out in August. Stone was sort of this weird side character. Carter Page, who knows what his relationship was? I mean, he says he was tied to it. The Trump people say, we don't know who he is. You know, it is really confusing. So I think they can just get out of the way here.
Well, there's a cloud of confusion over all of these proceedings, right? Let's talk. You bring up Devin Nunes, who has had a rocky week in Washington. There's been bipartisan criticism of his choice to go to the White House with information relating to the Trump-Russia investigation. The New York Times today, this morning, calls Nunes a human shield for the Trump administration. Does this House Intelligence Committee still have credibility?
Not much. I mean, with anybody outside extremely partisan Republican circles, no, it doesn't. The Democrats are already calling for independent investigations there. And
is that going to happen? Will there be a special prosecutor?
We don't know yet. You know, but those calls are getting louder. You know, if that was Nunes' goal, to inch this toward a special prosecutor, he did a fantastic job. But I don't think that's what he was trying to do. And running off to the White House like that, and then kind of going into the obscure technical minutia of how intelligence reporting is supposed to work. When you've got these huge, big issues, the espionage investigation, and the fact that, you know, you're now dragging the director of the FBI back in for closed testimony.
And Nunes seems to have issued a little bit of a mea culpa on that decision to go to Trump first, right?
But that's like, you know, that's the old thing you always do. You kind of ask for forgiveness after the fact.
Right.
You know, everybody who's worked has done that with their boss before.
Well, maybe.
Matt Rosenberg, thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Matt.